Hello everyone, a very warm welcome again to the science virtual session children. So let us continue with the chapter which we have started in the previous session, chapter 11, transportation in animals and plants. Part 2, let us see what are we going to have in part 2. We have learned about blood, the importance of blood in the body, the functions, the various functions which it performs we have seen in the previous session. In this session we are going to see components of blood. What blood is made up of, what are the components, what exactly it consists of, we are going to see in this session. So blood components you are going to take down in your notebook. Blood can perform several functions because of different substances present in it. There are so many things present in the blood which helps to perform various functions. Let us see what all those different substances are. First of all, we will see blood plasma. So blood consists of blood plasma. It is a liquid substance present in the blood which is called as blood plasma, and almost 55% of the blood is blood plasma. That is a fluid part, that is a liquid part, the watery part. The watery part is required for the flow of blood, isn't it children? If it is in the solid form, it will not flow, and flowing of blood is extremely important because it has to reach to the various parts of the body. The plasma facilitates the transportation of different substances throughout the body, and blood plasma is made up of water, salts, fats, proteins and sugar. So these are the content, these are the composition of the blood plasma, and blood plasma is present, it is 55% of the blood. So please take this down in your notebook children. Then we will see next component, red blood cells, that is also called as erythrocytes. So they are red blood cells. Erythrocytes, what are they? Let us see. They are present in ample amount. Lots of red blood cells in the blood. That is 40 to 45%. Quite a good amount. And they are red in color because they contain a special pigment called hemoglobin, as I have mentioned in the previous session. So hemoglobin is actually responsible for imparting red color to RBC, that is red blood cells. The oxygen we take in bind itself with the hemoglobin. So the hemoglobin content is extremely important in red blood cells. Red blood cells contains hemoglobin, and hemoglobin helps in binding oxygen which is required by each and every cells of the body, and hence it can reach to every cells of the body through the blood. So this is how RBC carries oxygen, because it has hemoglobin which get attached to oxygen, and then it is possible for the oxygen to reach to every parts of the body, to each and every cells of the body. What about the white blood cells? It is also called as leukocytes. What they do, let us see. They are present in fewer amounts, almost 1%. So the amount is very less, but a very important functions to perform. A very important function, a vital function in the body. These cells fights against the germs present in the body. So this is the function of white blood cells. It is they are these like the soldiers of the body. They fight against any foreign bodies entering the in the body, and they recognize the foreign bodies and they fight against it. So they are the soldiers of the body. They help us to prevent diseases. They help us to take care of ourselves, to prevent disease causing germs which enters our body. They fight against them. That's why it is a very important cells, though it is present in a very small amount. Then it has blood platelets. These are the cells that help in the formation of blood clot and prevent the blood from flowing out of the body due to an injury. So blood platelet, a very important function, as discussed. A very small cut can lead to lots of blood loss from your body, that can lead to death also because of the loss of blood in the body. So the blood platelets help in blood clotting. All of a sudden you will see, if you have an injury and you are not applying any ointments, then to the blood will stop flowing because of the blood platelets. I hope these all components and their functions are very clear with you, and you're writing this in your notebook children. You can see the components of blood. You can draw a rough diagram in your notebook. Just draw and label it so that it gives you a clear idea about the components of blood. You can see RBC red in color. You can see some platelets, white blood cells. You can just draw some rough diagram in the notebook to make this concept more clear to you. And you can see over here in blood vessels, blood flowing, and you can see plasma in the fluid form, in the liquid form. So blood vessels, you can see inside blood vessels you have blood flowing, which has RBC, it has plasma and all that. It has all the blood platelets, white blood cells. So red color blood which you see, it has all these components. If you magnify under microscope you can see all these kind of cells present in the blood. Let us see what are blood vessels, what actually they do. Let us have this. Blood vessels, our body contains tube like structures. Their structures called the blood vessels. They are fine tube like structures, just not normal. You can imagine a normal tube of a plastic tube, just imagine like that. And it is tube like structures. They are the blood vessels. They help in the transportation of blood throughout our body. And our body contains two types of blood vessels based on the functions that they perform. So we have two types of blood vessels. They are classified on the basis of the functions which they do, and they are arteries and veins. Please take this down, children. This is extremely important, and you need to know there are two types of blood vessels. They are arteries and veins. And because of the functions they perform, they have a different functions to perform. Let us see. Arteries and veins, here you have points of differentiation between them. There are distinct point of differences between them. You have to make columns and write arteries and veins. You are going to have a comparative study about arteries and veins, what they are. Let us see. Arteries, these blood vessels carry blood from the heart that contains oxygen into different parts of the body. That means it is taking blood from the heart. The blood vessels carry blood from the heart, and that contains oxygen. It has oxygen. It takes oxygenated blood and it gives to the different parts of the body. So oxygenated blood which has oxygen, has to be transported to different parts of the body, where arteries does this function. Whereas veins, these blood vessels carry blood that is rich in carbon dioxide from the body organs to the heart. That means veins take up all the deoxygenated, that is impure blood, which lack oxygen, which has lots of carbon dioxide, and that is very harmful to the body. So the important function of the veins is to take all this blood which has carbon dioxide in it. It will be taken to the heart by the veins. So these are the different function, but very important, both of them. Arteries have thick walls as the blood pressure is quite high in these blood vessels. So arteries have a very thick wall because the pressure of the blood pressure is high, and that's why you need to have a thick wall of the arteries. Whereas veins do not have thick walls as the blood pressure is quite low in them. So the function of the artery is to carry the oxygenated, the pure blood from the heart to various parts. That's why it has a thick wall. Whereas veins carries the deoxygenated, the impure blood from the various part of the body to the heart, so that it can get purified there. And then it comes out, the purified blood comes out from arteries. This is how the pumping of the heart is done, and this is how the heart works actually. uh, Now arteries, they are narrow so that the blood can flow quickly through them. So they are narrow, and so that blood can flow quickly through them. Veins, they are slightly wider than the arteries. Arteries, they do not contain walls, as the blood in arteries always flow in the right direction to the pumping of the heart. So it does not require walls, because arteries always flow, the blood flows in the arteries always flows in the right direction because of the pumping of the heart. Whereas in walls, they contain wall, veins contains wall, because that prevent blood from flowing to opposite direction. So the prevention of the blood in the opposite direction, it requires walls, whereas in arteries it does not require wall because always flows in the right direction, whereas in veins it requires walls to prevent the backflow of the blood. Backflow of the blood means to prevent the flowing of the blood in the opposite direction. So these are the differences between arteries and veins, but structures and function of both extremely important. Thank you, children. I hope you'll have taken down all the important points discussed in the session. I hope you'll have understood the concepts. Thank you and have a wonderful day.